just going back to that paragraph that you were dealing with, I just need clarity on two issues. During your exchange with Commissioner Baloyi, you then considered that you were not expecting to get paid, at least on this operation, or be rewarded. Do you remember that?
I do remember, Chair.
And that is still your version? That you did not expect to be rewarded on this particular...
Precisely on that operation. Sorry, Advocate Msikidi,
I'm saying it is still your version that you did not expect to get rewarded at this R60 operation.
Yes, at that juncture, I wasn't expecting an immediate reward here.
Yes, and in fact, you said when you were engaging with Advocate Baloyi that you were still trying to establish yourself to get to some point, maybe in future, that you might get rewarded. Do you remember that?
Precisely.
Yes. Now, what I don't understand is that while you are there trying to make your way to maybe to build some profile to be paid, as you would expect to get paid at some point, it doesn't make sense that what the facts point to us is that you have 60,000 rand with you. You first say that it was for traveling costs, but for now, what worries me is when you say, and that acquiring, so when you were asked about why do you have this money, and you said the reason, part of the reason why you have it is that it's for, well, acquiring technical intel almost comes at a cost. Now, it doesn't make sense to me. It is hopelessly contradictory for you to say you expected to build a profile to get paid, whereas at the same time you seem to be mentioning that that part of the money you had, or that money you had, part of it, you were willing to spend it as part of collecting intel. Do you wish to comment?
Indeed, Advocate Msikidi, the money wasn't solely, or wasn't for the operation. Was money at my disposal, and relative to that. I am not an ordinary would-be informant, or someone who's trying hard to fight his way into subs. So for me, one is always willing to leverage resources to meet a certain objective, albeit it may be long term. But at that point in time, these are resources at one's disposal at that point in time. So I because I've spent money risking marketing and whatnot. So I guess because it wasn't a substantial fee that I would think of in terms of acquiring information. I didn't deem it significant.
Just a moment, Mr. Msikidi. Mr. Nku, please, in your answers, try to be clear, because you've given an answer and I have no idea what you've just said. So
okay.
You're saying too many things that are unrelated to what we are talking about. So this 60,000 that you had on the day, when you withdrew it from wherever you withdrew it, what was it for?
So the money was was petty cash, which I used for my traveling activities.
On the day in question,
No,
you didn't have
it's
any
not.
traveling activities. You
No,
were
but-
going to
No.
Yellow Jersey and then Aeroton. So I want you to be specific. You withdrew 60,000 rands or you took it from somewhere. As you were taking it and putting it in your car, what were you going to use it for?
Commissioner Khumalo, the 60,000 that I had, I didn't take it consciously and put it in the car to just travel. It's money that I had with. I don't know if I make sense.
I want to understand something. You referred to petty cash. Is the petty cash the 60,000 rand or is the petty cash something else?
The 60,000 rands.
Petty cash 60,000 rand for an
Yes.
individual.
No, not for an individual. That
No,
was
no,
not
no.
my
I
money.
say individual as in Mr. Nku.
Oh,
Mr. Nku, who is an individual, he calls 60,000 rand petty cash.
No, Chair. It was
Yes.
petty cash for the company. It was not my money. I was trying to say that.
Or petty cash for the company.
For the companies. So I would say I used company funds.
Then you must have a huge company.
So the company
Please finish your
extended
comment.
to
Yes,
multiple
yes,
trucks, and we had a whole supply chain operation. So keeping cash, not all filling stations and whatnot where one uses cards. Some you would use cash to once all the trucks have passed. You would, so I would say one took advantage of that.
I was interested in your use of petty cash.
Okay.
I intervened whilst Commissioner Khumalo was asking you questions.
Oh.
And of course, some of the questions I had prepared, it seems you are anticipating already because I seriously want to engage you on this thing about carrying cash at this day and age.
Okay.
Anyway.
Ms. Nku, for now, because we will get to that later, are you saying this 60,000 rands is always in the car?
It is not always in the car,
Yes.
Commissioner Khumalo. However, given the purchases that one needed to or payments that one needed to make, at that point in time, I took advantage of the money being at my disposal.
Asking you. You're still not getting to what I'm asking you. Because that money, 60,000 rands, is not always in the car. At some point that day or the day before, you must have taken it somewhere in the safe at the company, or you withdrew it from the bank, and you took it with you and you put it in the car. I'm asking you specifically about during that period, what was your plan with it? Because you cannot say in general terms, filling stations, some of them don't take cash, therefore this and that. You run a truck business, therefore this and this. Unless you say to me, you were following a truck that day and you knew that that truck would require money to be used either for diesel or something else, and you took that money for that purpose. So I'm trying to understand, when you withdrew that money or you took it from a safe, what was your plan with it? What were you going to do with it? And I'm only limiting myself to that because you had chair. He still has other questions about that money.
Okay. Commissioner Baloi,
Khumalo.
Oh, sorry. Apologies, Commissioner Baloi. Commissioner Khumalo, when I took possession of the 60,000 or the money, hence I said that I took advantage of the fact that it one's disposal. However, I utilized the funds for traveling because one, I did not know how long one would stay in the vicinity of Durban, and going there is not limited to following up on information relating to that a truck. One obviously had other business interest in infrastructural development and so forth, but it was solely on the basis that I wasn't sure how long the trip will take, but I thought it would be best to travel discreetly.
I must say, you still have not enlightened me, but for now I will leave it there and accept that it's pocket money that you took with you for your trip to Durban and back, and you didn't know how much you would need for your trip. Have I summarized it correctly?
It was cost for the trip.
Yes, for you specifically. You were not going to pay suppliers for the company or anything like that. It was money that you specifically were going to use for your trip to Durban.
Not necessarily, Commissioner Khumalo. It's money that, hence I say, I took advantage of. But when I need to make payments to suppliers and whatnot, it would be easy for me to do it wherever I am.
To pay them in cash, in 200 rand notes?
No, to make deposits.
Oh.
Not to pay in cash, to make deposits.
So you take cash to then make deposits. It does not make sense to me, not at this day and age. Why not make an EFT?
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, the business that one was running, we had a lot of clients paying in cash. That's why there would be cash.
Paying you in cash?
They would be paying, yes, the company in cash.
But that still doesn't answer the question. What you do once you get lots and lots of cash is to deposit the money and then to make electronic fund transfers. That's what makes practical sense, Mr. Nku. I may not have a business, but at least that I understand.
I fully concur, Chair. Hence I've been expressing that one took advantage of the cash at one's disposal.
That still does not make sense. We have tax here, and I think the checks support what I'm saying. You left for Durban on the 7th, is that correct?
I think that would be a fair assertion.
And you were in Durban on the 8th, correct?
Yes, Chair.
And you came back from Durban, I think after roughly having been there for the day, then you came back on the 8th, correct?
I came back on the 8th.
And
yes,
you were here by early morning, which is the time you met Chief Mashaba and Warrant Officer Mokhano, correct?
Correct, Chair.
So are you saying you carried cash from Johannesburg to Durban and then back to Johannesburg with it? Is that what you are saying?
True, that, Chair.
Sorry?
That's true, Chair.
That's true.
Yes.
And was it 60,000 rand when you took it, or was it more, with you having used part of it perhaps along the way to Durban, in Durban, and back from Durban?
Yes, it was slightly...
Sorry. Had you taken 60,000 rand when you initially took it from wherever in Johannesburg, did you take 60,000 rand?
No, it wasn't 60,000, Chair.
You took more?
Yes, it was more, Chair.
How much was it?
I think it would have been about 65,000.
And the
Plus.
the 4 or 5, what did you use it for?
So I had booked I slept overnight on the 7th.
And
No.
yes,
Okay, let me just check.
yes.
Yeah, but I had booked. I had booked and slept overnight.
Or you use it to pay at hotel or whatever.
Yes, Chair.
Sorry, let's not speak. Or whatever accommodation facility. So you use the money for that.
Yes. Chair.
Anything else?
No. On the way, I paid for the tolls and
Now,
petrol.
When you left Johannesburg, taking the 65,000 rand, what transactions did you expect to make along the way or in Durban, other than accommodation and tolls? What transactions were you expecting to make?
I wouldn't have expected to make transactions, but other than have a safety buffer of having money.
So without expecting to make any transactions whatsoever, you take a whole 64 or 65,000 rand cash with you in your car. Is that what you are telling us?
Chair, as
You are not expecting any transaction whatsoever, leaving aside now the hotel and tolls. You're expecting no other transaction whatsoever. You take a whole 64 or 65,000 rand cash, underlying cash. Yes.
Okay, Chair, I did not know how long I'll stay.
Yes.
Yes. So it's not an issue of transactions, but I did not know how long I would have stayed in Durban.
So what did you expect might happen, which necessitated that you should carry 64,000 or 65,000 rand in cash?
Maybe my stay would have been longer.
I'm talking about what transactions would have been necessary or made necessary by a longer stay.
Chair, to consider that
Maybe an additional day at a hotel, perhaps, that?
maybe 3-4 days. Apologies, Chair.
So an additional 2 or 3 days at a hotel, perhaps?
Yeah, but that would have been possible, Chair.
And why could you not have paid for that using your bank cards? Why must you carry 64 or 65,000 rand for that? Why could you not have paid or used your cards to pay for that?
Chair, as I've already stated, that one, I took money that ought to have been deposited.
Yes.
When I took the money, it's not some of the money. It's the sum total of what was to be deposited.
Sorry. That's not answering my question. My question is, you say what could possibly have happened is that your stay could have been more than just 1 day. It could have been 2 or 3 days. My question is, why could you not have used your cards for that? So how you source the money and it being the sum total and so on is not answering my question. Why could you not have used your card for that? Your cards, actually, because I've seen several cards in the testimony or the documentation that we have here. You have several cards, bank cards. Please answer. My question, not anything else.
Chair, I was coming to that question.
Yes,
That's why I was trying to build a premise.
Yes.
That with the sum total that I had, it's money that I still needed to deposit. Hence, I'm saying I took advantage of that. Because
Tell me.
when I leave,
Sorry, so we don't speak at the same time. I'm sorry for interrupting you. What advantage exactly? What advantage were you taking? You say you took advantage of something. What advantage were you taking?
the advantage is that I took money that from customers which I ought to have deposited.
Yes.
So I cannot leave some and take some. That money needs to be deposited. So I traveled with the whole sum total of it and took advantage of it. Hence, I'm saying I should have left the money behind or deposited it.
I'm sorry, please repeat. We spoke at the same time.
So I'm saying I should have left the money behind or deposited it. It needed to be deposited. So I just took advantage of it so that whenever, if say on that money I would have spent 20,000 or 15,000, then I would at a later stage have to replace it, but then I need to deposit it.
And do you have people working under you, or did you at the time have people that you could have sent to go deposit the money? I'm sure you had.
I did, Chair.
I don't get this advantage that you are talking about. You could and should have sent people to deposit the money, and then as for yourself, with your Durban trip, you could then have used your cards. This still doesn't make sense to me.
But
I'm yet to come to, okay, let me not anticipate that question because you'll start thinking about it. So that doesn't make sense to me. Why not send people to deposit their money and then you go to Durban and use your cards to pay?
not everyone had access to my safes.
Sorry?
Not everyone had access to the safe.
I asked you whether you did not have someone you could have sent to go deposit the money, and I thought you said you could, or not?
But I would have had to take the money and give them before I leave.
What stopped you from doing that?
Hence I said, Chair, I took advantage.
No. That's not my question. What stopped you from taking the money out of the safe, giving it to somebody to go and deposit it? What stopped you from doing that?
Nothing stopped me, Chair.
Do you accept that it's very risky to travel with lots and lots of cash?
I accept.
Anybody would accept that.
Accept.
You accept it?
Accept it, Chair.
So make me understand this advantage in the face of the risks attendant to carrying that much cash with you. Make me understand this advantage that you took. Simply doesn't make sense to me, Mr. Nku.
Chair, the advantage relates to me traveling discreetly.
Traveling?
Discreetly.
What on earth does that mean?
Chair, if I, because part of my trip was to acquire information, traveling discreetly means that along the route, I wouldn't be using my bank cards.
But who had any idea about you going to source the information? Who would have cared about your use of your bank cards anywhere in the country? Who would have cared about that?
Chair, I wouldn't know because...
No. Mm-hmm. Your fears, beliefs, etc. must be based on fact. Who would have known about
Chair,
you going
the people whose information I'm following up on have got relationships with high-ranking officials. Anyone snooping around, it definitely does. There's exposure.
But how many people go to Durban and use their bank cards? How many people?
Granted, Chair, a lot of people do go to Durban and use their bank cards.
Then answer my previous question, because that's why what your responses do not make sense.
Chair, I still maintain that when following up on information, my mindset is that be as discreet as possible.
It doesn't make sense to me. I will leave it at that for now.
Can I just make a point? This is important, Mr. Nku, because at a scene of a major drug bust of drugs worth hundreds of millions of rands, when unexplained amounts of cash are found there, questions have to be asked and certain inferences have to be drawn. And you must give us an innocent explanation that explains the presence of that cash